Yeah, I think so. I mean, like basically none of your bodybuilders are going to go below 20% of a isocaloric weight maintenance diet from fat, because you just start to have all sorts of problems, low testosterone and just not feeling good. And so I think it's a mistake to go below a certain percentage. Personally, on a maintenance isocaloric diet, I wouldn't want to go below about 30% of calories. But again, I do think you have some room to trade off there, fat for carbs. I think if you're eating absolutely no carbs at all, you are going to have even more weight loss, because you have to expend energy performing gluconeogenesis and manufacturing the maybe 60 or 70 grams of glucose you need just to be alive. So it's a form of metabolic exercise, just making all your own glucose from scratch. But I'm also worried that to some degree that's not very protein sparing. And if people aren't eating enough protein or don't have enough gluconeogenesis aminos around, they might actually catabolize some lean mass just to make enough glucose to be alive. And so I'm where I've kind of landed with the PE diet is, hey, eat, like 100 grams of carbs a day, enough so that you don't have to burn up protein to make the glucose you need to be alive. So you're doing a little bit of protein sparing there. And that way you're not ever having to really catabolize any lean mass if you just didn't eat enough protein to make glucose that day, you know what I mean? So I kind of like somewhere in between, where it's not a zero carbohydrate intake and you're eating enough carbohydrate to spare some protein, because you do need that glucose anyway. But I recognize the fact that if you ate absolutely no carbs, you're burning up even more calories manufacturing that glucose. So it's like a extreme, it's like an extreme like Iron Man Triathlon challenge to just live on no carbs at all. And that probably does basically utilize the very most calories just being alive. So I could see possibly an energy benefit to never eating any carbs, because not only do you have to manufacture all the glucose just to be alive, right? But you're trying to get some energy from protein. You're trying to make glucose out of protein, and that's going to burn a lot of calories. So if you're really trying to have the biggest energy advantage, I can see how never eating carbs would get you there. I just don't know if that's optimal for the average person who's trying to also have the highest lean mass and not catabolize it. Based on your height, how much should you weigh, or what's the ideal body weight for someone of your height? And use that weight to calculate your protein target in grams per pound. So like, I'm a 5'10" male, and if I look up in the textbook or the calculator, what's the ideal body weight for 5'10"? It's 160 pounds. So for me, gram per pound of protein, 160 grams of protein is basically my target. And I think that's probably the simplest way for your average person to figure out what their protein target should be in grams.